Hey, good morning. It is 11:48 a.m. It is August 2nd. It is Saturday morning, and I cannot believe I am actually ahead of schedule. Okay, so today I got up and I went to the store and took care of my errands, and then I came home and I worked on my human targets presentation that I had mentioned before. Now, the only thing that I wrote out the script, I narrated the script, so the only thing I have to do later on today is find images for my video. Okay, and I feel relieved. Okay, mainly because I would say, I dealt with some stagnation this last week, and I'm back on schedule. It's important for me to, stick to my schedule and just get back into the swing of things. Okay, so this I'm looking at this as kind of like my full-time job, even though I'm not working. It's just that there's a lot of effort that goes into, trying to get your company off to a good start. Okay, that's also something that needs to be mentioned, but especially if you are a victim of human trafficking. Like I said, they do a lot of things that are highly problematic when it comes to trying to get your name across, to try to get to meet other people. I talked about my blacklisting, I talked about the shadow banning, as well as the community harassment. Okay, and so I wanted to share some of my insights with you guys this morning that I've received and talk about that. And I want to, like I said, summarize my findings in my fourth quarter newsletter. Okay. And then going forward, now that I got to the heart of the issue, I'm hoping to start focusing on other topics other than, the human trafficking issue, the nightmare. Okay. So I now understand and I get the intuitive message that the case is closed, that I proved that beauty is important. Okay. The intuitive message I'm getting at the moment right now is that there's a lot of apologies. Both men and women feel as though they should have known that there was no doubt that I was the chosen one. Okay. I was somebody who was engrossed into religious studies as a very young child. I showed all the same characteristics that would be displayed by a person who would be considered the chosen one. I have always been highly focused on my spiritual life, and everything pretty much revolves around that for me. Okay. And I don't believe that I'm dogmatic, meaning I don't try to force my beliefs down other people's throats. This is one of the weaknesses that a lot of religious people have, such as this particular group that was targeting me. Okay. Like I said, if you are somebody who is truly content with your spiritual life, okay, and to me, since my spiritual life is always at the top of what makes me work in tech and everything else falls in line. And I'm content with my views, I'm content with my life. If you are truly content with your life, you don't need to shove it down the throats of other people. Like, if people don't agree with me, that's fine. I'm going to continue on. I don't need to prove myself. And this is how I've continued to live. The only issues that I've dealt with were external to me, meaning people would come with their drama and try to suck me into it. And this is what the end result is. For 12 consecutive years, I have been dealing with community harassment that I didn't ask for. Okay, so the case is closed. Yes, beauty is considered to be important. This is something that was highlighted in the third quarter. I'm going to get a little bit deeper into this. Now, at this moment, I'm getting a lot of intuitive messages about how people are viewing Elon Musk. Okay, people view Elon Musk as a loser. Okay, now I'm going to say that. Uh, okay, let's dissect this. Okay, now I understand that Elon was involved in my targeting. He played a huge role in my targeting. He, along with people like Rex Laverne, played a big role in my targeting. I also understand that Rex Laverne had Nazi type views. Elon Musk at times seems as though he promoted these Nazi type views, but Elon Musk is not a what do you call it? I would say Elon Musk or Rex, okay, anybody in these groups would not be, to me, considered to be some respectable person that I'm supposed to be in awe of, okay? Meaning they don't have any sort of qualities that makes them stand out as something great, all right? So I would like to say, though, I understand people get in situations by circumstance, okay? And some people get into these situations by circumstance. Like I said, when I start analyzing each person within this group, this dynamic, okay, and this includes my adoptive family. Like I often think of my mom as somebody who was corrupt by default, okay? Why? Because she was married, and I'm sure that was arranged by the trafficking network. Okay. She wanted to get married. She had romantic type ideas when she was younger, but she ended up getting into a marriage that was most likely arranged by other people. And then the kind of pressure that you deal with. You get pushed into these relationships. A lot of people allow themselves to get pushed into these sort of manipulative type situations. And so, it's unnatural for people to bond with children that's not theirs and blah 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 all the way down the line, okay? So, yes, my mother mistreated me at times, okay? But then I also have to think, okay, what would it be like to be put in that situation? I am in no way excusing her for her ill-mannered behavior or anything like that. I'm taking a full view of the situation. Okay, this is what I do. This is what anybody who is what do you call it, diplomatic, somebody who is fair. You take both issues and you weigh them. Okay, and realistically, as things are now, do I forgive my mother? Yeah, I do. Okay. But that doesn't mean that I would trust her or that I would, she's dead now, but you know what I mean? That doesn't mean that she would be the ideal person for me to have a relationship with. Why? Because this is years and years of her social conditioning, believing certain things, seeing certain things, behaving a certain way. The relationship is dead. Okay. And I feel this way about Elon Musk. Now, I understand that Elon Musk, to me, he was a church slave. I've come to the understanding that he was a church slave. He lived like a church slave, okay? He actually lived in close proximity of his handlers, okay? And I know that, he had talked about spending hours and hours and hours at work. I've seen pictures of him laying on the floor, sleeping and this sort of stuff. And what most people just thought of, oh, he's a dedicated worker, I was recognizing him as a victim of human trafficking. Okay. Now, I understand that my intuitive messages about Elon Musk is that Elon Musk, because he was a victim of human trafficking, okay, had unrealistic ideas. Okay. Now, just like I would say most people, if you give them a choice of, do you want to live a lush life or do you want to live one of struggle? People are going to say, hey, I want to live the lush life, right? Okay. Well, of course, Elon Musk wanted to live the lush life. Okay. But he had no idea what that entailed. So oftentimes he would use other people's information, other people's ideas to promote this. And I believe that this is what he got entangled with when it comes to me, okay? No, Elon Musk is not entitled to any of my creations. I do understand that it's not just Rex Laverne, but Rex Laverne had Elon Musk involved. He had the Ross family, which is my biological mother, which legally she means nothing to me, okay? This is all, what do you call it, an underground crime syndicate where people work together, collaborate, often using religion as an excuse to, motivate people, to get people, to participate in this sort of stuff, okay? Elon Musk, to me, was a very ignorant person. And I can tell that he was an ignorant person just by the result of seeing the nightmare. Okay, I have seen people's videos talking about these particular groups within their workplace, people coming in and kind of dictating what people are supposed to do, making people's lives miserable, blah, 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 okay? Elon Musk must have liked the idea of being a dominant person or being a part of a dominant race or any sort of affiliation that he could be a part of that was going to give him some sort of power was worth that to him. Okay, so, and I don't believe that somebody who is a trafficked individual who has spent most of their life in the controlling position of many people could even understand how deep racism is. This is one of the reasons why I kept thinking, I really want to meet Elon in person and get a chance to talk to him, okay? Unfortunately, that's never going to happen, okay? Because I do understand how deeply that he was involved. To me, I was starting to think of him as a dangerous person. Why? Because he's extremely highly indoctrinated with stuff that he doesn't even fully understand, okay? Whatever the case is, I'm going to make this very clear, okay? I do understand that they were trying to take credit for my work, use my work, sell my work, whatever and everything. I understand that people were using, getting financial benefits off of my work and then putting me in carpools and everything else and making it so that I live a life that does not seem worthy of me. I am in no way saying that, oh, I'm too good to use somebody's vehicle. I'm not saying that, okay? But I'm a hardworking woman. I was paying on my own car payment, okay? These people blocked me, prevented me from working, and it's their fault, okay? And the problem with people like Elon Musk is that he minimizes the dramatic things or the traumatic things that he causes. Why? Because he doesn't fully grasp things. He has never fully lived and experienced life like everybody else because he's a trafficked individual. Okay? Like when I was talking to him, or who I thought it was, like I said, there's been so many people being imposters and everything else. My true feeling about how I was looking at him a little bit while he was in the White House doing his Doge project, okay? And my true feelings about this is I kept thinking someone like him should never be in the White House. Okay, I will tell you there are certain people who are victims of human trafficking that might get in these sort of positions and they don't belong in there. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I like the people in the White House. I did a shout out to JD Vance recently. I said my shout outs to Donald Trump and stuff like that. And I don't get deep down in their business. Okay, I like them just how they are. I don't need to sit there and dig in every single thing that they do with their personal life. I just respect their positions and I leave it at that. Okay. But I understood that Elon Musk, I've known for quite a while that Elon Musk is a targeted individual, but I wanted to take time to observe him. And no, I did not feel comfortable with somebody who I personally, I felt kind of scared when he and I would talk about things relating to money. Okay, like he was talking about investing, like, invest $1,000 and get $2,000 back. There is no financial institution that would back you up that way. And I know this, okay? And it scared me to hear somebody who's referred to as a, what do you call it, a net worth billionaire person talking to me about stuff that, to me, it's like, dude, you're scaring me, okay? You don't know what you're talking about. Some of these celebrities that have been in traffic, they have never managed money themselves. I wouldn't be surprised if you asked some of these celebrities, like, is $1 million more than a trillion? I mean, is $1 million more than $1 billion? And I don't know if they would be able to answer that. Okay, and yes, I understand people. I understand people. All you need to do is let me hear you talk and let me hear what you're saying just a little bit, and I can start. That's why I shut the outside world out. I don't want to hear it. Okay. Hearing people's ignorance and the things that they could possibly create and cause freaks me the hell out. That's why I don't watch the news. Okay? I really do not like being bothered with people's crap. Okay, so the message I'm getting right now is that people realize that religion was derived from the occult. Okay? Why that's coming up is because this just adds to the layers of me being inconvenienced, me being harassed unnecessarily, and people are coming to realize that they're assholes. Okay? Like, you've literally caused all these problems in my life for no reason, only because these people were evil themselves. Okay? The other message I'm getting is that righteous justice. And the message I'm getting is that the universal forces believes that I am right to curse whoever I feel like at this point. And I'm going to tell you why. And I'm not a petty person by any means, okay? I'm thinking about somebody who has dealt with disrespect from small things to large things, okay? From childhood all the way up to my adulthood years, okay? And after a while, it starts to build. It starts to build, all right? And I start to read into the hearts of people. And once I deem you evil, I'm done. So like I said, I addressed Donald Trump about this issue, about, people disrespecting me even in the slightest way. Okay, I'm done. I'm done. The intuitive message I'm getting right now is that people have noticed me outside. Okay, yes, I've been getting outside more. You know why? Because I'm tired of being cooped up in the house. And the other message I'm getting is about Elon Musk and people viewing him as a loser. I believe that Elon Musk wanted me to stay inside the house, right? Because something about me and my father, me and my father my father's apparition being seen. Let me tell you something. Elon Musk had no right to say anything about my career whatsoever. And using religion was just a ridiculous excuse. And people are gullible. This is why religion, when it comes to politics or anything, can be extremely dangerous. Okay? Extremely. Okay? And see, people like Elon Musk, trafficked individuals, people who are church slaves, they've been kept away from the real world. This is one of the reasons why Elon Musk might be thinking, oh, she's talking too much or she's just blabbering on about nothing. No, this man has destroyed people's lives. I am 54 years old, okay, with the potential of being able to take care of myself completely, okay, and he has put me in a state of destitution, okay, and I don't fully think that he even grasps what that means, okay. So yes, people are like, well, do you hate Elon Musk now? My feeling about Elon Musk is that he should have never existed in the first place. Okay? That's my feeling about him. Do I feel kind of sorry for him? It sucks to be that. I'm pretty sure it does. It sucks to sit here and have people be able to put you back you into the corner like they have and him not being able to identify anything. You know what I mean? And of course he's going to want to have nice things and live comfortably or something, but you're not doing that at my expense. And see, he thought his religion was going to give him the right to do that. No, he is wrong. He is wrong. Okay, the other message that I'm get is that most people agree that I should stay with it. I'm not beautiful, but what I'm saying is stay beautiful, meaning I have every right to love my clothes. Somehow, Elon Musk thought that I was going to be willingly giving up the things that I like so that I could help support his children that I have nothing to do with. Okay, this is what I'm saying about people like him. Okay, now this man created, I believe, 14 children. Okay, and he is not able to fucking financially take care of them. That's not my problem. Now, I do recall seeing a segment about Elon Musk talking about, bringing in increasing the population. He probably heard this from his handlers. He doesn't know any. Does he know what it takes to raise 14 children? How much it costs? Okay. Did he really think that he was going to have? No, I am not associated with Elon Musk. Okay. I am not in any way responsible for his stuff. And then the other message I'm getting is that about MK Ultra. I know a lot of people want to use, and yes, MK Ultra played a big role in this. Why? It was a part of why the church was so brainwashed and why they were encouraging people, because this originally started off as bloodline targeting. Okay, and so these particular groups wanted to try to beat and compete against other bloodline groups. Okay, so then it gets filtered into the church, and you know what the church did? It helped. What do you call it? With the propaganda, it helped isolate other people by telling people that this person was bad, that you were the bad one, right? Then that way you don't get the support, right? And this way it makes it easy. Okay, I understand these sort of social situations. See, they mess with the wrong person. Okay, they mess with the wrong person. The other message I'm getting is something about me going to the library. And yeah, I've been going to the library from here to there. I've been going to different locations too. I meant to go over to the library over on Wilson because I wanted to change a location because I felt like I'd already been to the Southwest Library. And for whatever reason, I didn't end up getting off the bus or whatever. Whatever. That was a day that I just wanted to just kind of like do whatever. I just needed some time away. I really did not feel like I was able to function because there was a lot of things that were flowing through my mind that day. Okay. But yes. Also, the other intuitive message that I got is that Elon's children are screwed and so are their mother. Okay. Their mothers are also screwed. Okay. I am not responsible for Elon Musk's children. Okay, this is what I'm saying. This is a man who was supporting white supremacy. Okay, this is a group that was talking about adding more people to the white race. I understand they had a white race shortage. Okay, but if you're not able to raise your children, meaning financially support them by your own means, okay, do not sit here and act like you are superior to anybody. You're a joke. Okay, now the message I'm getting right now is about religion. Elon was highly indoctrinated, okay, and he knew very little about anything. And yes, he was a victim of MK Ultra. I would say a lot of these celebrities are victims of MK Ultra in an indirect way. Okay, why? Some of these people are generational clones, right? And I would say I was fortunate. Why? Because unlike a lot of the celebrities, I didn't live like a celebrity. I don't really, my associates, my neighborhood that I grew up in, I grew up, I would call it like a regular type residential type person, okay? Which allowed me flexibility. I used to go to the library when I was younger. I read about topics that I'm sure a lot of these people were prevented from doing. They didn't have the freedom to do that. Elon Musk probably didn't have the freedom to do that, okay? I understand things. Okay, I'm not going to one of their institutions. And when I say their institutions, one that was religiously highly indoctrinated, whether that be a religious school or a public school that somehow got infiltrated by religious ideologies. Okay, I have always been somebody who had free reign over everything that I studied, and now that I understand how corrupt our country has gotten, I'm talking about it. Okay. Now the other message that I got is justice is restored. Okay. It says, yes, no matter how small the offense, those I wish to kill will die. Okay. That means over all the years that I've taken people's abuse, their eye rolls, their snide remarks, their this, that, and the other thing. At this point, I'm at boiling point. I'm not taking any of it. So as people disrespect me, and if I'm walking away from them, you best believe I'm wishing them dead. I'm done with people. Did you hear that, Donald Trump, President Trump? Not you. I'm not talking about you, not President Trump. I'm talking about people I encounter on a day-to-day basis. I am done with people's illogical issues and their warped mentality. Okay, I am done with it. I am tired of being disrespected for people's problems. And in all actuality, what they're upset about is that I'm somebody who's not going to be responsible for Elon Musk's children. This whole issue, okay, that was going on in the community, that number board less 45 or whatever. I'm not responsible for Elon Musk's children. Okay, his children are going to be church slaves just like he is. Or something. I don't know. I don't. Apparently, I think his handlers now realize that it's illegal to do this. Okay, so, but yeah, you know what I mean. So Elon's children have a few options. Okay, they have, if the children are over the age of 18, they might be able to get some sort of financial assistance if they live here in California. Meaning they need to go to the state and apply for that. Okay. That includes their mothers, okay? For the mothers who are raising their underage children, okay, who got sucked and conned into this, human trafficking issue, the RICO Act that I talked about in my third quarter newsletter, then they need to go get some sort of assistance from the state. You are not getting anything from me. Okay, I have my own child that I'm supposed to support. That I don't have to support, okay, but I choose to. You know why? Because I love my child, okay? So why am I going to sit here and make provisions for Elon Musk's children when I didn't make provisions for my son? That's absurd, okay? But see, this is where the selfishness comes in. This is where the selfishness comes in. I'm expecting something. I need this. And then he thinks because he's a part of this religion, he gets it. He does not get that. Okay? Now, I don't know. I mean, I have to say, when it comes to his time over in the White House, I have to say that I think it was very kind of President Trump to allow him in there. Okay, but obviously, I'm glad that they rethought that situation. Okay, we need to be careful about weird people that get into the White House. Okay, and it bothers me that he had access to people's information. Okay, no more taking pity. No more fucking charity cases in the White House. Okay, that's how I feel about it. The intuitive message I'm getting right now is that I need to hurry up and get on social media, which I'm not going to be doing that till probably tomorrow. Okay, because I will finish my slides. Okay, yes, Elon was responsible for the violation of the RICO Act. He was ignorant of everything. Okay, and I understand that. I've been thinking about working for the White House myself, actually. I probably won't. But you know what? Donald Trump can call me anytime he wants to, okay? Anyway, the message I'm getting right now is that, yes, I am a business expert, and I am more respected than most people. You would never know it by the people that I encounter, but yes, people do respect my wisdom, okay? And I will tell you, I'm not going to have my stuff squandered on people who cannot appreciate it. or tries to dictate it. Like Elon's family has no right to tell me how I'm supposed to look, what I'm supposed to. And the reason why Elon wanted to control what I looked like or how I did it, because he wants to make sure. Like if I was to be somebody who was overweight or disgusting or whatever in other people's eyes, then I would get married to them, right? And he would lose his ability to make me a commodity. You know what I mean? They want full control of me. How dare you ask me of something like that? And what makes him think that he can ask me to sacrifice my life on his behalf is his religion. He's warped. Okay? So people in this community were taking advice and instructions by a man who was mentally ill. And this is what I was talking about in my stalking in the workplace video about people who have delusions and all this other stuff. See, I'm telling you, I understand people. Okay, I'm an expert at psychology. And people are like, how could that be? I am an autodidact. I kid you not. Okay, so this is like I said, I do not like watching the news. Okay, I do not like watching certain things because I don't want to read into people. I will if I get interested, I will read into people. I will look at them. I don't want to know. I don't know. I will go crazy. Pointing out every criminal, every person. I don't need to do that. So Maria needs to just mind her own damn business. Right? The Swan Song Manifesto is identified with my enterprise. It is mine, okay? And I do get the intuitive message that my newsletters have been manipulated. I know that they used propaganda to prevent people from communicating with me. Right? People should be able to reach out to me and inquire about, them wanting to advertise or whatever. I man my own newsletters, okay? No one had the right to do that. The message I'm getting right now is the people that I used to know are amazed at how I turned out. Well, that's nice, okay? But you helped a criminal and I don't forgive you, okay? Now, yes, everybody wants to look at Elon Musk as a loser. Yes, I would say that Elon Musk is a loser by default. Okay, so I do have some compassion for him, but at the same time, it's not my problem. It's not my problem. Okay, I've been drained, for a very long time, prevented from providing for myself. And like I said, don't get me wrong, my things are covered. Like I'm paying my rent. I'm paying my bills, okay? I'm a little late, okay, but still, okay? But at the same time, at 54 years old, and I'm not being materialistic in any way, I should have more to show, okay? The message I'm getting right now is that, yes, no one had any right to expect me to change my life, especially my appearance, okay? So that I could not have access to my own things and be able to provide for somebody else's family. Are you out of your mind? Yes, people do look at Elon Musk as a loser. Okay, so Elon's children have two options. They could either kill themselves or get on some sort of public assistance. Okay, that's it. And that goes for his wives too. Okay, they wanted to rub it in my face that I was, in their mind, uneducated. That's a joke. Okay, shout out to President Trump, anyway. Anyway, the message I'm getting right now is people realize they were wrong, and and I should expect an outpour of their sympathy. I would appreciate it if you supported my Human Targets fundraiser. Also, help me find jobs. Okay, I'm going to be trying to connect with certain people. I'm looking for certain industries right now. I'm looking towards the hotel, the motel. Also, they say entertainment. They say entertainment industry is getting trained on human trafficking. But see, I find that laughable. So I didn't even mention that in my video. The reason why is because a lot of the people in the industry are nothing but victims of human trafficking. Okay. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get people to understand that they've been lied to. Okay. That people are getting manipulated. That's why like I said, I do not like watching TV. I do not like watching the news. I do not like knowing what goes on. And some people are thinking, well, Maria, you have the wisdom to fix everything, right? Okay, but see, some of these things, I can't take on too much. I just can't. I can't take on everybody's issues. I can't do it. It would drive me crazy, okay? Yes, I guess Elon Musk is a loser, okay? So stop supporting a loser, right? What else? Okay, yes, the 100% protection and truth, okay? I have uncovered the underground crime syndicate. And yes, it was all illegal. All of it. Okay? All of it. Uh, Elon Musk looked at me as somebody who was high class and that I was higher than everyone, and he wanted to try to humble me. Okay? That's not my problem. Okay. I am proud of who I am. I am in no way somebody who has a bunch of stuff. Like I said, most of my stuff is used. Okay. I got this tank top a while ago for $4 at Walmart, and I was like talking about it and bragging about it, like all happy, like it was something great. Okay. I don't have much. Okay. But what I do have, I'm very grateful for. Okay. And I will tell you, it took me years to acquire the little bit of stuff I do have. All right. And I should, by my age, I should have more. Okay. And why don't I have more? Because of Elon Musk. Okay, now the good news is that all my issues with my traffickers have ended to my benefit, and I am very grateful. Okay, I am moving on from this issue. I'm hoping that I will be able to be more interactive with my newsletters. No one is responsible for managing anything, of anything that belongs to me. I manage everything. It's mine. Okay. And, I've heard of, people stealing other people's ideas and this kind of stuff. It happens a lot. I've read about, this is one of the biggest issues of human trafficking. Okay. And now the community knows. My community knows, everybody knows, okay? But this has been going on throughout the United States. This is one of the reasons why we had this bottleneck of people not being able to find jobs and all this other stuff. And I'm trying my hardest to unwind everything. My message I'm getting right now is that people really do appreciate my information on psychology and law, and it is being taken seriously. I'm glad, okay? Once I'm done with these presentations, I'd like to get back to my moral reset project, which I think is extremely important to me. What else? The other message, oh yes, I did want to mention this really quick. I think I mentioned it a couple of days ago. I don't know if I uploaded that video or not, okay? To view human targets, okay? Like I said, I know that I was ripped off by the trafficking network when I did my Ko-fi and my Patreon, okay? I had mentioned that I had created the payment method, okay, is connected to a website called eCrater, okay? And that's how they are going to pay for the video presentation. Now, unlike these like sophisticated sites to where they can pay for the viewing and then they could see it all on the same site, it cannot be done that way. I have tried that before and I was stolen from. Okay, so this is one of the reasons why I'm talking to President Trump, addressing him in this issue, because eCrater is going to be how you pay for it. I'm hoping that the situation is, I'm going to have to test it. Okay, we'll see how it works on Monday when I test it. Once I make the payment, does the customer's email address appears? If once the email address appears, then I will email the link. Okay, I want to make sure that I do not get stolen from. Okay, this is what I'm asking you to President Trump. Be very aware that I am working with a company called eCrater, and there better not be any sort of theft going on in my account. And if so, I want you to hold the Ross family as well as anyone related to Elon Musk's family 100% responsible. Okay, it is mine. That's mine. Okay, so I'm going to be launching my campaign in the next few days, and I am looking forward to getting I need money to move. Okay, so that's one of the reasons why I'm mentioning it. Okay, because like I said, I'm tired of people thinking that they can get things from me. I need to get my life back on track, which I had every right to want that. I have every right to want to prepare for that. I do not need anyone's permission. It is not a religious issue. It's a matter of survival. Okay, and so this is why I'm mentioning it. I want to make sure that my stuff is 100% safe. And the message I'm getting right now that keeps coming through my mind, and I mentioned this before, is that Elon's children and their mothers are screwed. I think they were trying to hope that they were going to get my money. You're not getting anything from me. Okay. In this world, and see, this might come as a surprise to Elon Musk's children. In this world, you are responsible for yourself. If you are over the age of 18 and you're Elon Musk's children, you need to go get a job. okay, or find something, or get on some sort of public assistance or whatever. I am not responsible for your problems. Okay, I'm a victim of your father's stupidity. Okay, I'm not responsible for it. So yes, like I said, this is what you get for following the mainstream. This is what you get for your bragging of your education. This is what you get for all of it. And yes, I am going to stay beautiful. I'm going to wear my clothes. I'm going to live my life how I choose to live it, like I have the right to live it. Okay, and it's unfortunate that I had to deal with these people. Yes, I keep getting this message again. Elon's kids and their mothers are screwed. You better get on the state of California, get some sort of assistance, because I'm not helping you. I am under no obligation to help you. Okay, I don't care what your religion is. Okay, as a Yale student, as a Brigham Young, or whatever, all your fancy colleges, you should know by now that as an adult, you are responsible for yourself. I am not responsible. The intuitive message I'm getting right now is that, yes, I am at peace with all the aliens. Thank you. The message I'm getting out right now also is that my skills are proven, and that my uniqueness inspires companies to want to learn from me. Okay. Yes, I would say bullying is a huge issue, and people generally like to bully people when they have their own problems. Okay, and so I understand that some companies want to be very serious about this whole topic of bullying, because it's very common. It's very common. I've dealt with it, and I understand humans more than you can imagine. Like, if I can understand that Elon Musk and his family and all these people are nothing more than church slaves, while I sit here and they were supposed to be residing in places like Texas and other parts of California, I can tell this from a distance. You best believe I know. Okay? Yes, Elon Musk's children are screwed. Okay? And I'm not responsible for them. Everybody understands. And yes, people are talking about Elon Musk being a loser. Okay? And it's sad. Okay? But it is what it is. I feel sorry for people, but I'm not responsible. Okay, the thing is, it's like, I just recently came to understand more about Elon Musk in the last few months, okay? Like I said, I had this weird intuitive message about him. I made a bracelet because I wanted him to communicate with me. We started talking, and the more I started learning about him, the more I'm like, realizing, yeah, you're confirming it, dude. You're like a total. I never told him that he was a human victim of human trafficking, but I knew it, okay? Anyway, and yes, the message I'm also getting is that, yes, Elon was really a debt slave. He lived in close proximity of his handlers. Okay? Yes. This is the truth. So what people thought was a billionaire, he was not a billionaire. Elon Musk was a debt slave. Okay? And I do talk about debt slavery in my video, which I'm pretty damn sure that the mandated education does not cover that. Okay, and the reason why is because a lot of these people, like we had known that for a long time. This religious group was infiltrating workplaces throughout the United States. Okay, which meant that nobody who was, you had to be a part of this sort of mindset in order to get a job. So all the work materials, like I said, when it comes to work education, is all created from them, which means that it's all limited, it's all doctored, it's all, monitored, or, yeah, it's fixed in a way to where they're not revealing information. Like, this is why people like Siobhan Zealous got sucked into her human trafficking and ended up having children and all this other crazy stuff. Okay, they're not telling you how the operation works, not fully. Okay, people have the idea that all forced marriages relate to overseas marriages. No, you can be here in this community where I was being stalked and stuff like this in the workplace. There's too many misconceptions with their training. There's too, just like it's like the sexual harassment training. If these people fully understood what sexual harassment training is, this community wouldn't be talking about what I wear. Okay, and once again, the message I'm getting is justice is restored. No, yes, no matter how small the offense, I have the right to kill whoever I want on a spiritual level. So if I wish you dead, then you probably deserve it. My old community of Lancaster, which I consider home, is talking about me. I'd like to know what they're thinking. Yeah, everybody agrees that their children are screwed. Okay, and like I said, these kids got brought into a world, right, that they didn't ask. They didn't ask to be born. You know what I mean? But see, I believe Elon was inspired by, the wrong people. He wanted to be a high roller. Okay. He did not know exactly what that entailed, but he just knew he wanted to. And then he used deceptive methods to advance himself. Other people's work. And some of this was quite obvious. Like people, I had noticed several times I'd see him making talks and things. He sounded a lot like he was ripping me off. Okay, but I figure, he's probably a fan of mine and, he needs inspiration. I understand people use my stuff for inspiration all the time. At this point, I'm tired of it. Like I said, I'm not taking slights anymore. Anymore. Even the smallest. You know what I mean? So like when I deal with people, they either act right or act, I don't know. Anyway, yeah, it seems, like I said, these children of Elon Musk, do not take it out on them. Do not make them suffer. If they need public assistance, make sure that they get it. If they're entitled to that, get it. They don't need to be harassed, okay? But if these kids were over the age of 18 and they were a part of my bullying, then I guess they're screwed then. Okay, there's no reason why somebody should be, condoning that sort of behavior or rewarding it. You know what I mean? Especially if these kids are that disrespectful. Whatever the case is, I'm not responsible for them. Okay? I am not responsible for anybody other than myself, okay? And I choose, if I was successful, the only person that would benefit from it would be my son. He's my only child. Duh. Okay, and also I'm also talking about in my video, which makes human targets different than mandated education, okay, is the fact that what constitutes a marriage. What constitutes a marriage, okay? You can't just sit here and say, oh, I want this person to be my wife. Okay, no, we need to have a marriage license. If we don't have a marriage license, there is nothing. Okay, and see, these people in this community that were assisting Elon Musk, I mean, their ignorance is just shocking. Absolutely shocking. Anyway, I am going to wrap up this video. Okay, yes, I am protected. I have 100% the truth. The underground crime syndicate was 100% illegal, and I am a free woman. So anyway, I'm going to wrap up this video, and I hope that you will support me on my social media. I will be announcing my social media and all that stuff tomorrow. Okay, like I said, I still want to make some slides and get everything done. This is one of these situations where, like I said, I try to think from both people's sides. I try to understand the root of the problem. I try to understand, and I do this because it's important for me because I'm a spiritual person. Okay, this is how God determines, and I'm not saying I'm God. I'm just saying is I am a child of the divine. This is what determines whether people are evil or not. And yes, it matters to me. Okay, so yes, some people are evil by default, and I would say that, Elon Musk is not necessarily evil. He's just misguided, but at the same time, it's not my problem. Okay, I can't suffer for other people's problems, especially since this is my last journey on Earth. Okay, I'm trying to make up for things that I missed out on in life, okay, and I missed out on a lot of them. A lot of them. Things that you take for granted, I never had. I never went to the prom. And I dream of going to a nice, gala event to where I'm wearing that black dress with the little sleeves and stuff that I never had a chance to wear. Okay, I'm trying to get back what I missed as much as I possibly can. And you know what? I don't need Elon Musk. I don't need him. Okay, he hasn't done anything for me. He's taken my car and then turned around and acted like he was doing me a favor by giving me some piece of shit truck to drive. Okay, yes, Elon Musk is a loser. It's sad but true, okay? No, I do not think, I don't write him off as an evil person. I write him off as a very sad person. You know what I mean? Very sad, but like I said, not my problem. Wrapping up this video, I hope you all have a wonderful evening and the rest of the weekend, and I will be back tomorrow to make final announcements, and hopefully, I would really appreciate your support. Take care. Bye-bye.